Okay, so I apologize if my audio still sounds kind of like oof. I've been working on it the whole entire day, but I can't waste any more time. So let's get started with this. So I got about 40 minutes worth of working before I have to actually get back to work. So today I'll do this, come back later on, do this again, then I'll do Vera's little thing afterwards. So let's get this party started. Yeah, this one's this section is kind of a doozy, so just be patient with me. I actually got to think about this. All right, let me actually switch to music because we were bumping to this earlier. You know, I haven't heard this one a bit. And again, just be a little bit patient with this because I'm still working out the kinks with this little audio system that I have going on right now. So far it seems good. A couple hiccups here and there, but we'll fine tune it a little bit more later. I'll have to read this over again. Just give me a second. Can I use? Yeah, I can. Right. What the fuck? You're hardwired. It's the illusion of control pretty much shatters. Oh, I cannot spell right now. Okay. I should probably give an example of this. No. I think we're fine. No, we don't need an example. So, moreover, I cannot spell right now. Okay. Okay, I'll read this and we'll go from there and we'll see how this sounds. Oh crap, that's a lot. In horror games, sound isn't just an accessory, it's a weapon wielded to manipulate the player's emotion and sense of control. Our brains rely heavily on audio cues to interpret our surroundings and anticipate danger. When this trusted channel is disrupted or weaponized, it evokes a primal and unsettling feeling of vulnerability. One of the most common techniques is muffling or distorting environmental sounds. When familiar noises, footsteps, breathing, or distant noises are muted or warped, the player's sense of situational awareness begins to collapse down. Why am I adding words? Player's sense of situational awareness collapses. This deprivation creates a sensory void where danger could lurk anywhere, and the player's instinct to listening to threats is distorted. This uncertainty creates anxiety because the brain struggles to fill in the gaps, often imagining threats far worse than reality. The use of off-screen noises, sounds that come from beyond the player's immediate field of vision, amplifies this tension. A faint creak, a whisper, or something that could cause the player to jump provokes a fight or flight response. The player's mind races to locate the source, but this pursuit is often futile. This distance between hearing a threat and not seeing it intensifies feelings of helplessness and paranoia. Then there are moments of dead silence, the sudden and total absence of sound. Silence in a horror game is never neutral. It signals that something is wrong or something is about to happen. The silence traps the player in heightened anticipation, where every heartbeat, breath, or distant echo is magnified. The pause in auditory stimuli becomes oppressive as the player waits, frozen, for the inevitable intrusion of terror. Music also plays a pivotal role in shaping emotional responses. Horror games often use dynamic music that stops abruptly or shifts tone without warning. When music cuts out before the jump scare or an unseen threat appears, the sudden vacuum feels like a loss of control. The player who had been confronted or distracted by a musical score is plunged into a raw, unmediated fear. Conversely, eerie, dissonant soundtracks induce a steady state of unease, preparing the player for a horror but never fully revealing it. These auditory manipulations are so effective because they tap into basic human survival instincts. Basic human survival instincts. We are hardwired to listen for danger, especially in situations where vision is limited. When sound fails us, or worse, is weaponized against us, Our internal sense of safety unravels. The illusion of control shatters, and with it, players' confidence in navigating the game world. Moreover, sound can directly influence gameplay mechanics, making the player freeze or panic. For instance, a door creaking open behind you may cause involuntary hesitation, mimicking the freeze response in real life. This not only heightens immersion but also limits player action, reinforcing the theme of powerlessness. In sum, sound and sensory deprivation in horror games are more than just atmospheric tools. They are active forces that manipulate player perception. They are active forces that manipulate player perception, control, and emotion. By depriving players of a reliable sensory input, these games make the world uncertain, hostile, and uncontrollable. By depriving players of reliable sensory input, these games make the world uncertain, hostile, and uncontrollable. Okay, I like it. All right, so we can now give me a second. We can now actually talk about why this hurts for the player. But before we do that, I need some better ambience in my life. Courtesy of Resident Evil 1. All right, so this section should be why powerlessness hurts. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure work is not texting me. Again, we're still fine tuning the settings here. Pretty soon, I'll get this right. Like, I know audio isn't my best thing, but we're working on it little by little. Okay. Okay, so powerlessness. Why does powerlessness hurt the most? I'm still pushing for a Thursday release for this. Just be patient. This was a lot longer than I initially thought it was gonna be, but that's fine. I'm having to put the dodge on. So the emotional weight of powerlessness in horror games goes far beyond mere gameplay mechanics. It cuts to the core of why players care at all. The psychological investments in the character they control. Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's fine. So, okay. I cannot spell right now. I'm being a little bit too descriptive here, but that's fine. Experience. Haunting Ground is very notorious for this one because you just generally just feel bad for Fiona. Yeah, it's not intensive. It's the fact. Powerlessness. Yes. Right. Frustrating. I got like 15 more minutes left. Okay, so let me read this. The emotional weight of powerlessness in horror games goes far beyond mere gameplay mechanics. It cuts to the core of why players care at all. There's psychological investments in the character they control. All right, I gotta read that more better. It cuts to the core of why players care at all. Their psychological investments to the character they control. When we play a game, especially one rooted in narrative immersion, we just don't push buttons and watch pixels move. We inhabit a character, share their fears, hopes, and vulnerabilities. This connection transforms the player's experience from challenge to visceral, personal, ideal. When the character suffers or faces disempowerment, the player feels it too. This bond intensifies the impact of powerlessness, making it more than just frustrating. It becomes deeply unsettling. Players expect to have agency to overcome obstacles through skill and strategy. Horror games break this expectation, flipping the script so the players are no longer the heroes, but the hunted, the victims, the fragile ones on the edge of collapse. Oh, my voice is so cooked right now. It's been kind of cooked for the past couple of days, so just bear with me. My injury's starting to act up again, but it's all good. Okay, I like it. Give me 1 second. Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't repeating anything. Okay. Okay. I definitely gotta get moving soon, so I'll just write like another. I'll write a little bit more. Then I definitely gotta get going back to work. So, like I said, when I get back, I gotta go to the gym, have dinner. I'll do this one for like another hour or so. Then I'll finish up the night with Vera again, because again, that one's gonna be the big project for this. It's not gonna be the big project for the summer. It's just gonna be that's not gonna get released anytime soon because that's just a lot of things I have to go into detail about. This one is a little bit longer than it probably should have been, but I wanted to make sure I didn't leave any stone uncovered. Okay, I like that. Okay, so the result of that is result. It's a layered emotional response. Like immediate fear, for example. There's immediate fear, the adrenaline rush. We'll say spike. Adrenaline. If I can fucking spell right now, adrenaline. The adrenaline spike. The threat appears. But beneath that lies a state of helplessness. Oh my god, ew. I cannot spell right now. This is slow burn. Yeah, it's slow burn. Okay. All right. So unfortunately, I do have to get back to work. So once I'm actually done with work and IRL stuff, I'll come back, do this for another hour. Then we'll do some more very yandere stuff. Anyways, good shit. I'll see people later.